find a comfortable position in the chair. So we settle in. So maybe softening the gaze or letting the eyes close. Closing the mouth so that you're breathing only through your nose, unless, of course, you're experiencing allergies or congestion and having difficulty breathing through your nose. And breathing through the nose allows the breath to slow down, helping us tap into that relaxation response. Just observing the breath just as it is. And giving yourself permission to tune everything else out just for this hour. Letting yourself be grounded in the present, here and now. And if you find yourself distracted by thoughts, that's all part of the practice, no big deal. You can just observe the thoughts as they come up and then let them pass, drawing your attention back to the air coming in and out through the nose, or the present moment. Bringing one hand onto your belly, letting the breath drop into the belly, feeling it expand on the inhale, then relax on the exhale. And without forcing anything, let the exhale extend just a couple of beats longer than the inhale. Lengthening the exhale also helps us to relax the nervous system, reduce anxiety, release tension. And at some point, letting the breath return to its natural rhythm, removing the hand from the belly. And maybe taking a moment to set an intention for the practice, something you'd like to focus on. And once you've done that, gently bringing the awareness back into the space around you, letting the eyes come open. And we'll begin our warm-up as we usually do with our head and neck movements. So we'll move on the exhale, so inhaling in the center and then exhaling, looking over to the right. Inhaling back through center and then exhaling to the left. And flowing with the breath, using it to guide the movement. Looking once more each side. And then bringing the head back to center. Then on your next inhale, looking up to the sky. And exhale, bring the chin to the chest. And moving back and forth on the breath. And the next time you look up, maybe holding for a couple of beats there, letting the throat open, the front of the neck. Taking another inhale with head lifted. And then on the exhale, bringing the chin to the chest and holding there. Letting the head feel heavy, maybe even clasping the hands behind the head. Adding a little weight, increase the stretch. And releasing the hands and the head back to center. And then taking any kind of movements that feel good for your neck. So maybe rolling it in a figure of 8 motion, maybe rolling the head from shoulder to shoulder, circling the head all the way around. Whatever your neck feels like it wants today. And eventually bringing the head back to center. And then dropping the right ear toward the right shoulder. Opening up the left side of the neck. And then maybe taking those arm options, clasping the head with the right hand, letting the left hand drop down by the side or extending out a little bit. And breathing fully into the left side of the body. Releasing back to center, releasing the arms, and switching sides. Left ear dropping down to the shoulder. And then finding those arm options, whatever works for you. Feeling that stretch, that openness on the right side of the body. And then releasing back to center, letting the arms hang down by the side. Then we'll roll the shoulders backwards a few times. They come forward, up, back, and down. And then switching directions, rolling the shoulders forward. And releasing the shoulders down. Now taking some movements of the face and the jaw, maybe making some circles with the mouth. Sure, I said it before. I often find myself clenching my teeth without even realizing it. So just a minute to loosen up and stretch out. And on an inhale, we'll draw the shoulders toward the ears and contract the facial muscles. And then exhale out through the mouth to the sigh, releasing the shoulders down. Do that again, inhaling, contract the shoulders, contract the facial muscles. And then sigh out and relax on the exhale. Do that 2 more times, inhaling up. And last time, inhaling, contracting, tightening. And relaxing everything on the exhale. We'll inhale the arms up with the palms facing towards the sky. Staying for the exhale. Then on the next inhale, we'll make a fist and draw the hands toward the body, bending on at the elbows. And then pushing the hands out in front, flexing the fingers. And so just moving back and forth and making the fist, hands come in. And then exhaling, pushing the hands forward, widening the fingers. Moving with your own breath. Pulling and pushing, maybe imagining that you're pushing something away. And doing that just once more, in and out. And then letting the arms float back down to the sides. So now on an inhale, we'll sweep the arms out to the sides, palms maybe meeting overhead. And then exhaling, flipping the palms and the arms float back down. So doing that a few times. Rising on the inhale, maybe finding that palms meeting above the head. Now we'll continue with the arms, and this time we'll add a seated twist to the right on the exhale. So we'll inhale the arms up. And then on the exhale, bring the left hand to the right knee. Right arm comes behind, coming for a twist. We'll inhale, sweeping the arms back up. And then exhale, twisting to the left. And just moving side to side to this flowing twist. And then the next we twist to the right, we'll hold. So inhaling, the arms come up. And then as we exhale, twisting to the right and maybe holding for a few breaths. The right hand can grab the chair or the hip. And the head and neck can gaze wherever it's comfortable. And on your next inhale, arms rise back up to the top. And then we'll exhale and twist to the left, holding here for a few breaths. Left hand can rest on the chair, the hip, or anywhere that's comfortable. And then on an inhale, sweeping the arms back up again. And then on the exhale, arms float back down by the side. So bring the hands up, clasping the fingers. We'll flip the palms out and extend the arms out in front, rounding the shoulders, maybe dropping the chin a little bit. Breathing into the upper back. And if your arms and shoulders are okay with it, lifting the arms up above the head, keeping them clasped or releasing if that's more comfortable. And trying to relax the shoulders a little bit as you extend the arms. We'll take an inhale here, and then exhale, bending to the right. Inhaling back to center, and then bending to the left on the exhale. And then moving side to side, bending on the exhale, rising on the inhale. Then maybe holding to the right the next time you bend over to the right. Feeling the space that's created in the left side of the body. We'll inhale back up to center and then hold, bending to the left. And we'll inhale back to center and releasing the hands. And as you exhale, letting the arms float down, maybe rolling the wrists as the arms float down slowly. And we'll come into our seated eagle now. So maybe scooting up a little bit in the chair. And option to cross the right leg over the left, maybe even hooking the right foot behind the left leg if that's available to you. Then we'll send the arms out wide and then cross the right arm underneath the left, coming to a bear hug. And you can stay here in this bear hug or move toward your traditional eagle arms. So winding the forearms around each other, bringing the palms together. Again, breathing into the upper back and the space between the shoulders. And maybe choosing a focus for the gaze while you breathe here. We'll take one more inhale. And on the exhale, releasing the hands, placing the hands down by the side, uncrossing the leg if they've crossed. And we'll switch sides, so crossing left foot over right. Sending the arms out wide and then crossing the left arm under the right, or whichever side you haven't done yet. And then choosing to remain in this position or moving towards the eagle arms. And again, maybe picking a focal point. If you're in eagle arms, maybe one of your fingers If you're in a bear hug, choosing a focal point somewhere out on the floor in front of you. And we'll take one more breath in, and then releasing on the exhale, releasing the arms, releasing the feet. Maybe bringing the hands to the chair and letting the knees move from side to side, little windshield wiper. And eventually resetting our seated mountain. Letting the hands come to the thighs. We'll move through our cat and cow. Now taking one big inhale. And as you exhale, rounding the spine toward the back of the chair, sliding the hands forward toward the knees. Inhaling, hands slide back toward the body, arching the spine, and flowing back and forth. We'll do one more cat and cow and then return to our neutral spine and our seated mountain. And from here we'll come to some hip circles. So maybe bringing the hands to the hips and trying to keep the upper body stationary, just shifting the hips from side to side in the chair. So the upper body's going to move a little bit, of course, but keeping the movement mostly in the hips and the lower body. And then going back in the other direction. And returning to center, resetting, seated mountain. Let the feet walk in so they're pretty close together, maybe even touching. And then we'll butterfly the legs out and in. And just letting the knees drop out to the sides and drawing them back in. Once more, letting the knees drop out, coming back in, and then walking the feet back out to about hip distance apart. Now the hands can come either onto the chair or onto the hips. And we'll just bend and extend each leg a few times. So starting with the right, we'll extend the leg out, flexing the foot, and then drawing the knee in, maybe lifting it a little bit, engaging the core, and then flexing and bending. So just, again, loosening up the hips, loosening up the legs. And holding the leg out, and the heel can stay lifted or rest on the floor. We'll just point and flex the foot a few times. And then roll the ankle in one direction. And then back in the other direction. And then letting the right foot rest back on the floor. Just switching over to the other side, extending the left leg out, flexing the foot, and drawing the knee in towards the body. Listening to your own body, maybe the knee lifts a little bit. The back of the thigh comes off the chair, or maybe not. Then holding the leg out, heel either lifted or on the floor, and then just pointing and flexing the foot. And then rolling the ankle in one direction, and then back in the other direction. And then letting the left foot come back to the floor. And you can release the hands back onto the thighs. We'll widen the feet slightly, so maybe about the width of the chair or a little bit more. So toes still pointed forward. We'll inhale to lengthen through the spine, and then on the exhale, bringing the forearms to the thighs for a half forward fold. The back is sort of flat in this position, not rounded. So we're stretching out the lower spine. And I always like to have the tips of my fingers touching, but that's optional. Just breathing here, again, noticing that space in the low back. Stretch. And then if it feels comfortable for you to round the spine and fold all the way forward, you can do that. Letting the arms hang, letting the head hang. Just draping the body over the thighs. Noticing how the breath feels different in this position. And from wherever you are, rolling gently back up into an upright seated position. And we'll walk the feet out even a little bit more, as wide as you want, really. And this time we'll turn the toes out to an angle, so about 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. This is our goddess pose. And we'll bring our arms up to our goalpost arms or goddess arms, bending at the elbows, fingers spread wide. And on an inhale, we'll send the arms up to a V position. And then exhale, bending the elbows back down. Inhaling up, exhale, bending. And you can send the feet along as well. So on the inhale, sliding the feet out to the sides, making a star position with your body. And then exhaling, bringing it back together to goddess. Just an option. You can stick with just the arms if that feels better. my yoga mat doesn't slide so well for my feet. And we'll do one more inhale, extending the arms and maybe the legs. And then exhale, coming back to Goddess. And we'll come into our extended side angle from here. So the arms can release. And we'll bring the right forearm to the right thigh. And you can stay here. Maybe the left hand rests on the left thigh. Or maybe we twist, opening the left arm toward the sky. However feels good for your body. And if you'd like a little bit more, you can even reach the right arm down towards the floor, towards the foot. Taking a couple more breaths here. And on an inhale, rising back up to the center and switching sides to left forearm to left thigh. And then finding whatever options work for you. Extending the right arm to the sky, coming into a little bit of a twist as you look up to the sky. Maybe sending the left arm down towards the floor. And your options might be different on either side. Often there's differences between how each side feels. Take one more inhale here. And then on the exhale, releasing the arm, coming back to center. Walking the feet back in. And maybe taking a few windshield wipers of the legs. Resetting in our mountain, we'll get ready to come into our warrior two on the right side. So we'll bend the right knee out to the side. So the right toes are pointing towards the right side. And then you can keep the left leg here in the front or extend it out behind, pressing down through the outer heel of the left foot. Bringing the hands to the hips, we'll try to square the upper body and the hips towards the front. We'll inhale, sweeping the arms up, and then exhale, opening them out to the sides as we look over the right fingertips. So right arm is extended out front and left arm behind. Building strength in this pose, even as we're supported by the chair. Bring the back hand, the left hand to the hip. Flip the front palm and bend the right arm backwards, coming into our reverse warrior. And then exhale, flipping the palm back down, extending the right arm out in front. And we'll flow back and forth a couple times from this back bend in reverse warrior back to our warrior two. And then maybe holding a breath or two in our reverse warrior, relaxing the shoulders, breathing into the front of the body. And taking another inhale. And then releasing on the exhale, releasing the arms, and then releasing the legs, coming back through center. And bringing the hands back to the thighs. We'll take maybe about 3 rounds of our cat and cow. Inhaling and then exhaling, rounding the spine towards the back of the chair. Inhaling, arching the spine. And then moving through that maybe 2 more times, more if it feels good. And then returning the spine to neutral, and we'll come into our warrior 2 on the second side. So this time the left knee bends out, left toes pointing to the side. And then maybe the right leg extends back behind and pressing into the outer edge of the right foot. To get our alignment, we'll bring the hands to the hips and square the hips and shoulders towards the front. We'll inhale up with the arms. And then on the exhale, opening the arms out to the side and then gazing out over the left fingertips. Taking a few breaths here in our warrior 2. Maybe challenging your focus by gazing at a fixed point, maybe the left middle finger. We'll bring the right hand to the hip. Flip the left palm and inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, arm comes down. And flowing back and forth. And then maybe holding a reverse warrior back bend position for a few breaths. Breathing into that open chest. And we'll have one more inhale here. And then on the exhale, releasing the arm, releasing the legs back to center. And bringing the hands to the hips. So we'll take some more of those hip circles. Just rocking the hips in a circular motion. And then back in the other direction. And then eventually returning to center. We'll bring the hands to clasp behind the head. Do a little bit of core engagement. So as you inhale, we'll bring the right knee toward the left elbow, just like a little crunch. And then exhale to release, and then switching sides. Exhale, release, and moving with your own breath back and forth for a few rounds. Thinking about engaging the core and using the core to help draw the knee and elbow towards each other. Do once more each side. And returning to center. And we'll stretch from side to side. So bringing the right elbow down to the side, back to center, and then the other side. And just moving back and forth. And then once more each side. And coming back to center, releasing the hands, maybe shaking out the wrists. Once again, we'll draw the right knee in and extend the right leg out in front. And this time really thinking about zipping up the core. So using the core to maintain a straight spine, help support the body. And from here, maybe extending the right arm up by the ear. And maybe the left arm comes with it. So holding that leg out, strong through the core. Don't forget to breathe. And we'll take one more inhale. And then releasing on the exhale, releasing the foot, releasing the hand. So switching sides, the left knee comes in and extends out. Again, thinking about the strong core supporting the body. And then maybe the right hand lifts. Maybe the left hand comes with it. Holding strong through the center of the body. One more inhale. And then releasing on the exhale, releasing the leg, releasing the hands. And we'll come into our seated pigeon. So I'd invite you to either extend the right leg out on the floor and then roll out onto the outer edge of the right foot so that the hip is open to the side. Or a second option is to pick up the foot and cross it over the left ankle. And if you're in this seated version with the foot crossed over, maybe just rocking the knee from side to side, loosening up the hips a little bit, and then finding the center again. And so grabbing either the hips or the sides of the chair, we'll inhale to lift and lengthen through the spine, and then Exhale, hinging forward from the hips with a flat back and stopping just as you start to feel some sensation in the hips. So we don't want to go too far so that we're in pain or overstretching. We want just that hint of a stretch, of sensation. On an inhale, rising back up to center, uncrossing the foot and placing it back down on the ground. And then coming onto the second side, so finding your option, either extending the left leg out on the floor, or opening the hip that way, or picking up the foot and crossing it over the right knee. And if you take that option, just settling in, rocking from side to side, find a comfortable position before finding center. And then hands either on hips or the chair. Inhaling to lengthen, and then exhale, hinging from the hips, folding forward, stopping again right when you start to feel that stretch, that sensation in the left hip. Maybe it's different from the other side, how far we fold on this side. On your next inhale, rising back up, and then releasing the foot back to our seated mountain. Come into another seated twist here. So we're going to shift our bodies in the chair so that we're facing to the right. So we're sitting to the right in the chair. And then with both hands, we'll grab the back of the chair, the top of the chair, and then gently guide ourselves into a twist to the right. And so we're using the hands, the arms to gently pull, but we still want to cultivate a sense of ease, of relaxation in the shoulders. So we're not straining, not pulling ourselves too far, but just to that balance between effort and ease. Take one more inhale here. And then on the exhale, untwisting, making our way back to center. And we'll place the palms, fingers pointing down on the base of the spine. So I'll turn so you can see. Drawing the elbows back and just arching the spine a little bit, opening the chest. It doesn't have to be very far. Maybe slightly lifting the chin. One big breath in. And then exhale, release. And we'll twist to the other side. So bringing the body to face the left side. Hands come to the top of the chair. And then we'll come into a twist to the left. And we'll take just one more inhale. And then exhaling, untwisting. Working the body back to center. And we'll open the chest once again, this time clasping the hands behind the body, opening the shoulders, turning around so you can see what I'm doing. Taking a few breaths into the chest. And one last inhale. And then releasing on the exhale. And we'll come into one last forward fold. So maybe widening the feet slightly. And then coming down either onto the forearms. Maybe taking a few breaths on the forearms. And if it feels good as your last pose, maybe folding all the way forward, rounding the spine, rounding the head and neck, hanging down over the legs. And then we'll gently walk back up, rolling the spine up to seated. And then like we did at the beginning, we'll take a few of those breaths, contracting the shoulders and the face, and then relaxing with a sigh. So as we inhale, contracting the face, drawing the shoulders to the ears, and then sighing out on the exhale. 2 more times. Inhaling, contracting. Exhale, releasing. And once more. And we'll once again return to a comfortable seated position. And we have a short guided meditation today. So if you need to skedaddle, feel free to sign off. Or if you'd like to stick around, I'd invite you to find stillness in a comfortable seated position. Maybe letting the eyes close once again. Bringing the focus back to the breath, just as it is, in and out through the nose. Maybe taking a few rounds of breath with a slightly longer exhale as we did at the beginning of class. Really dropping into that sense of relaxation. Returning to your natural breath if you haven't already. We'll begin by doing a quick scan of our bodies, just noticing what's present. Maybe there are some feelings or sensations that you can relax and let go of right now. Resisting the impulse to label these feelings or sensations of good or bad or positive or negative. Just noticing anything that might not serve you in this moment. Seeing if you can find a little bit of relief. Begin to deepen our focus and move through the body, and starting with the head, bringing your attention into your head as if you're inhabiting your whole head with the space between your ears, softening and relaxing wherever there might be any tension. Letting the space around your eyes soften. Let the brow be smooth. Relax the mouth, relaxing your palate down to the root of the tongue. Relaxing the jaw. Maybe letting the corners of your lips turn up into a smile. Allow the shoulders to melt away from the neck, feeling inside both shoulders as if you could feel from the inside out. Tuning into the feeling of relaxation, of letting go, like melting from ice to water. As if your body is a clenched fist that can slowly unfurl to its natural openness. Feel the volume and the length of the arms, the weight of the arms. Feeling the hands from the inside out, feeling the weight of the hands where they rest. Softening, loosening, unclenching. Noticing what sensations arise as you let go and feel. Let there be an openness to the chest, feeling your breath and your awareness fill the chest. Maybe visualizing as if it were a smile spreading throughout the heart. Now letting your awareness fill the midsection of the body, either side of the ribs, the waist, and the navel to the spine, softening and letting go through the belly. As you release and let go, maybe feeling the breath moving through your softer, more spacious belly. Drawing the focus down into the hips, the pelvis, letting awareness fill the pelvic area. Letting go, letting the breath be received deep in the torso. Aware of the legs, the length of the legs, their weight on the chair and the floor beneath you. the energy, life that moves through them. All the way down to the feet, feeling the connection of the feet and the earth beneath you. Be imagining everything that you've been holding, pent up energy, reactions, emotions, letting all of that release down the body and out through the feet. Opening the awareness now to the body as a whole. Once again, sensing the possibility of letting go of anything that doesn't serve you in this moment. Flowing down through the body and out through the feet. Resting into this moment to moment flow of sensations, awareness. Letting everything happen. Letting life be just as it is. And just as the body often tightens, the mind becomes tight with thoughts. Think about unclenching the fist of thoughts that flow through the mind. Re-entering the present moment, letting it be. No matter how far the mind travels, you can always pause, let go, and ground into the present. A quote from the Tibetan teacher Tilopa: "Let go of what has passed. Let go of what may come. Let go of what is happening now. Don't try to figure anything out. And don't try to make anything happen. Relax right now and rest." And slowly begin to broaden your awareness out from your body into the space around you. Maybe beginning to invite some gentle movements, wiggling of the fingers and toes, and gradually increasing the movement. Taking your time to wake the body back up, maybe taking a stretch. Taking a deep inhale. And on the exhale, bringing the palms together to rest in front of your heart. And as we close, bringing your attention to your heart, breathing in and out. Maybe offering yourself a wish or a blessing, words of kindness, whatever resonates with you, whatever you'd like to send to yourself. And then maybe Also sending out some feelings of loving kindness or blessings out to all beings across the universe, that they might be happy, healthy, and at peace. Namaste.